Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Richard. I'm the guy who points at stuff randomly on the thumbnails in the videos. I'm also a passionate English language teacher, teacher trainer, human, author, blah, blah, blah. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I believe is the number one thing that you need to know to make sure that your online English teaching business grows and doesn't fail. This is the thing that if you focus on and if you get it right and if you keep coming back to it, it's going to be the fuel that keeps your passion burning and gets your dream freelance English business off the ground. Imagine that, like hot air balloon, and you just sort of waving at the minions below. Okay, so stay tuned because I think this is going to be really valuable for you. And the information that you're going to see now is just a snippet from the full workshop, which I have available on my website, englishforpositivechange.com. And if you look for the keynote webinar on the 3 keys to success in freelance, in your freelance teaching business, then you can get that whole workshop on there. Anyway, enough from me. I hope you get a lot of value out of this video. And how's your online business going? Are you thinking about it? What's stopping you? Have you already started? How's it going? What are the challenges that you're facing? If you let me know, then I can give you more valuable content and to hopefully help you with some of those challenges. Okay, see you guys. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this workshop? Three main things. So the first one is the number one thing that will sustain your business. So I'm going to be explaining something which it really goes beyond marketing and social media and finding students. This is a mindset thing, which if you get this right, then it will be that constant companion that you'll be able to refer back to when things are not as easy as you hope they would be. There's always going to be moments when you're running your own business where you question things or things are not going according to plan. But with this, you'll draw strength and it will empower you again. The second thing is how to find your teaching or your business sweet spot, so your niche. We'll be going into that. And then towards the end, how to get your first students and keep them. One thing is finding them, but you also want to sustain their custom. And I'll be showing you some valuable tools to help you to do that. So I'm going to talk, this is about my journey into freelance teaching. So before I became an independent teacher, well, I worked in a great language school in the UK. It's the joint number 1 school in the UK. But when I came to, when I moved abroad, this was actually my experience. I was teaching 20 plus hours a week, all types of classes. So I had a Delta qualification and I trained to teach adults, but I was thrown in with kids, business. I was doing exam classes, teenagers, adults, and all the challenges that come with that. On top of that, I was traveling here, there, and everywhere to deliver these classes to businesses, into schools, you name it. I had to get there, and without those breaks between classes, I was working evenings, till very late, weekends, and for all my trouble, I was taking home, sometimes on a good month, €900 after tax. And some of that was paid to me in a brown envelope in cash. And I wasn't, I wasn't fulfilled. And you know the story. I was just feeling like all of my experience, my knowledge, my passion was just being sucked out of me. And I actually was completely burnt out, and I reached a point where, right, I said enough is enough. Now we're going to skip several years, and starting your own freelance teaching business is not an overnight thing. It's something that you have to work at. Be under no illusion, and you do need to engineer a platform for your success. And every case is unique. So there's not a magic formula for how you go about this. But this is where I ended up after I'd drawn the line and said enough is enough. I'm going to go and work for myself. So I managed to start my own teaching business, and I knew what I wanted to do, and so I ended up, this was my schedule, 7.5 hours of teaching per week. That was 5 1.5 hour classes, group classes, only adults, which was my speciality and the point, where I feel free, where I feel good, and able to help most. No travel. I taught all my classes in my centre here, and after tax I was taking home €1,750 on average, and I was having a great time. Okay, so here I am with some students, and we had a club that met once a month. So obviously this is pre-COVID, but the principles are the same, whether you're going to teach online or face-to-face. Why work for yourself? Well, it's not all rosy. It's not all roses in the garden, but there's a lot of benefits to working for yourself. You can teach on your terms. So obviously, as I've demonstrated, I decided my timetable. I decided who I wanted to teach. I gained freedom, both the physical freedom of, I could have long weekends. I could choose the days that I wanted to work. And I was also much more financially free when teaching for myself. You also get to teach your way. So I'm sure you've got a zone of genius, an area of teaching that you specialize in. That could be you love communicative kind of teaching, or you really love working and helping exam students. So you get to choose the way that you do things. You don't have a boss telling you what to do. Specialize in what you enjoy most. So that might be you love working with kids, or you like working with business students. Choose your own schedule and get paid what you deserve. So some pretty compelling reasons for going it alone. And I say alone, that it doesn't have to be alone. Once you get started, you're never alone, because you're surrounded by happy students. So how do you move from that prison? I know a lot of teachers. I've spoken to hundreds of teachers since I started this project, who feel trapped. They're not getting paid what they deserve. They're teaching every class under the sun, and they want to be free. and they want to call the shots in their career. But how do we get there? John C. Maxwell famously said, "Find your why and you'll find your way." So if you know why you want to go and start your own freelance teaching business, then the what and the how, so all the marketing and what exactly you're going to do and how you're going to do it, all of those things will take care of themselves if you are driven by a compelling reason for doing this. Okay, so it's really, really important when you're thinking about or starting your own teaching business to have a really compelling why for why you're doing this. A little while ago, I asked this question to some teachers about why they were teaching. Okay, we had a development session on why they were teaching. I just want to show you that because we often overlook the why, but this is really the most the thing that will light your inner fire and keep you going when things are not necessarily going so well, and remind you of why you're doing this. So just sorry, just going to put the sound on there. Okay, the reason that you teach, or the reason that you do anything, if you know your why, if you know why you're doing something, okay, and you believe in that why, then the what and the how just inevitably will take care of itself. You'll find the ways. So talk about the reasons why you're a teacher. I've put a few examples here, but let's add some more. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And teaching, the thing that I like about it now, which I didn't know at the beginning because I wasn't that interested, is I like the fact, like you, that seeing people grow in confidence and just becoming just growing, and that you're a part of that is a really nice thing that you can give people.
Yeah, I think that's an important part for me because on a kind of personal level, I've always been extremely shy. Like when I was 18, I wouldn't even walk into a shop on my own. So I wanted to do something that would like face that fear kind of thing. Like now that I'm not like that anymore, I still have that to some extent. Still have, like, the first class is always nerves, but it's to sort of get over that and challenge myself and realize that there's more to life and that you can do these things.
Okay, the reason that you... Okay, so those teachers reconnected with their compelling why for why they are teachers. But this is something, this is my first must-do task for you. You've got to get specific about your why for starting your own teaching business. So what is driving you to start your own teaching business? Ask yourself these questions. How would you love it to be if there were no limits? Okay, we're talking about a transformation in your life. Okay, a big transformation. So use this opportunity to focus on how you would love it to be if there were no limits. What would it be like if you achieve your goal? Okay, so for me, I was driven by having those evenings free to spend with my family, the long weekends, so that I could plan a trip to the UK if I wanted to, the extra money so that we could eat out on a more regular basis. What will it be like if you achieve your goal? And equally, what will happen if you do nothing? And I encourage you to think big, okay, when you take this opportunity, when you're starting on this journey to become a freelance teacher, it's an opportunity to reinvent your life in a big way. And ask yourself this question: what is your dream life? And don't put any limits on it. So I'm just going to show you what this looked like for me, and why, you know, when I was plotting and planning how I wanted my teaching business to look, what I wanted it to look like. And this was my vision. You know, you've got to shoot for the moon to land in the stars. So I wanted to have time and the money to travel to the UK to spend time with my family and freedom. Time to be on my own. I love going down to the beach and spending my mornings walking along the beach. The idea of, you know, just a simple garden would be nice, but a pool would be a bonus. Having the freedom to enjoy my other passions of music. Occasionally I go and sing in the street, and I write songs. One day I'd like to make a wooden boat and sail it on the Mediterranean Sea. And I love painting murals, big scale murals. And this is a famous one in Mexico. So, okay, it's not directly related to the teaching business, but at the same time, it so is, because when you connect with your real essence and what you really want to do with your life, then you can configure your teaching business around that. So this is a little snapshot of what my life is like, more or less, on a more regular basis these days. Coffees in the sun, painting murals, and singing in the street, living the dream more often. Okay. So when you go looking for Moby Dick, if you know the film, looking for Moby Dick was the whale. Someone once told me that you have to take the tartar sauce with you. So you've got to set your mind up for success. Okay, I'll give you an exciting statistic. There's 1.5 billion English learners out there, according to the British Council. 1.5 billion. Okay, so there are an abundance of people that want to learn English, with the add into that the fact that now we can reach those people if we want to using the internet, and people are more open to receiving their lessons that way. Then we've got to be confident from the start, and we've got to aim and set our sights on success. So how do we do this? Well, Stephen Covey, who wrote the 7 Habits of Hugely Successful People, encourages us to start with the end in mind. Okay, so if you think back to what I achieved with my simple teaching business, I asked myself these questions: how much do I want to earn? And so when you start with a number, so how much money would you be happy with earning each month? So for example, you say £1,500 or €1,500, and double it. Okay, so just think big, because every time what happens in business is you'll aim for an amount and you'll probably fall some way short. Okay, it's just probability. Okay, so aim higher, and then you'll end up with what you were aiming, what you'd be happy with. How many hours do you want to work? So when we've got the figure of how much we would like to earn, then we can work backwards and figure out pricing, the number of students that you'll need. Okay, so in my case, I needed like 25 students and I had 5 classes. So I knew that if I grouped 5 in a class, then I would meet my targets. If I had 6, 7, 8 in the class, I could possibly almost double my earnings. Be careful not to sell your time for money. What does that mean? Well, I would encourage you to aim to create a business which is scalable. So something that you can grow. Okay, if you're only teaching one-to-one classes and you only want to work 15 hours in a week, then when you're at your capacity, there's no room for growth. So consider how you could scale your business.